All right. How are we doing today? Let's go. It is Wednesday. It's time to get it. Let's get it going. SPY is moving higher today. Once again, in pre-market, we gapped up a little bit. If you guys didn't know, ASML reported earnings, did pretty well in the chip sector. Moving much higher, up to 1,032, up. Where's our percentage here? Oh. Once it loads, there we go, 4.8%. Gotta love the lag on the trading view sometimes. Tesla, look at that nice action there at open. Love it. I love Tesla's movement today. If we look at it, it actually broke above its trend line. Starting to move higher here at open. Let's get it. Yeah, it's volatile, though. It is volatile. Watch 440 is resistance, possibly. It got pretty close here on this move. Touched and instantly dropped. Wow. Quite the pullback there by Tesla. Oh, my gosh. Whoa. Opening candle volatility. My gosh. Look at NVIDIA pulling back here at open. Uh-oh. Man, NVIDIA adding a lot of downside pressure. Let's see the Mag 7 initially at open. Yeah, Apple's kind of down. Amazon's pulling back. Microsoft's all over the place. Amazon down to 216. Wow, that is pretty crazy. Wow, big pullback out of Apple. NVIDIA pulling back as well. 183. Wow, big pullback there. Interesting. Gonna be watching NVIDIA here closely. It has a nice gap up from this morning, down to like 181.64. Maybe we'll get lucky. It'll bounce right off of that gap fill as support. We've seen some really good gap fill support bounces lately. SPY looking pretty solid, holding well above 666. I have 669.50 to 670 is the next solid area of resistance here. 668 could probably be called resistance as well, but I don't really love it as much. ACHR Pew Pew says Archer Aviation. Oh, wow. 11% straight up. The first four candles are fantastic here for Archer. What's up, Rick? Don't forget to hit the like button, Joe Papa said. Exactly. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but especially like today. Helps us out a ton. Yeah, ACHR 10%, Jake said. Sheesh. How's Joby? We got any news there? I'm going to be checking the headlines here. Joby's not up near as much. Archer, one bid to process. It won the bidding process to acquire Lilium patent portfolio for nearly $21 million. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know what that does for them. Let's see. The portfolio includes patents related to high voltage systems, battery management, advanced aircraft design, flight controls, electric engines, propellers, and ducted fans, Archer Aviation said. Okay. For $20.9 million. Doesn't sound like it's that much. Or like it would really be something that helps them go up that much. But I guess it is today. If you look at Archer, it actually had a really solid jump yesterday. And it was kind of pointing higher. So I'm not really surprised that it's breaking out here. That is one hell of a breakout, Archer. Okay. How's CoreWeave today? A little positive with this morning with NVIDIA. Go back to Tessie real quick. All right, now watch for Tesla to hit support close to 430 to 431. This is going to be a big area to watch for today with Tessie as it fills this gap and test the trend line. It'll probably test the trend line as it fills the gap, but it got really close here just now. I like this for a possible scenario playing out later today where we hold this ground. That opening candle was so volatile. How's Walmart? Boom, 109. Yes, sir. I love the way Walmart's running here. Talked about this one last night. I still can't believe Walmart partnered with ChatGPT. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. SPY doing pretty well here this morning, though. I like SPY's actually pointing up pretty good. That's a solid move. Well above 665 to 666 resistance. We talked about those levels a lot recently. There's been a lot of touches around this range. That's why we drew it out with the red box here. The lower end of the range down around that recent low. Interesting, though, to see the SPY getting past here. I like 669.50 to 670. Hopefully he can get up there and get some momentum. I don't really mind, but I just want momentum. I just said in the chat, Tilray needs to come up with something for him. For a partnership with OpenAI. That's so funny. Good morning, KO. Apple's not pulling back, Losing Bear said. Not anymore. Let's see. From open, it's still a little pullback. I like how it's up though on the day. That's a good sign. It's trying to hold some support. It pulled back, it opened, and touched this support. It's holding it now, though, which is great. This music's putting you in the mood for Halloween. It's called Spooky Synthwave for Halloween nights. That's funny. Yeah, that's perfect. I can't wait for Halloween. We'll have the Halloween music and everything going on here. I just got like a random text on my phone and it's like blowing my mind here. A text about something really weird with like flu. All right. Deleting that one. 604, solid resistance on the QQQ. Rejection right back down. I like the way the QQQ is actually pulling back towards key support from this morning around 602 to 602.30. Watch for that support, but ultimately, it is pulling back a little from open. I'm worried that it tries to come down and fill the gap. That doesn't mean it's going to be terrible. Look at yesterday's open. It moved down and dropped and filled the gap from last week, or from Friday's drop into Monday, and then boom, right back up. So if it fills the gap today down a little bit, you know, watch maybe for a support buy. Obviously, you know, if China comes out with something and the market has a huge reaction off of it to the downside, then yeah, be careful. Mason had a scary dream. He got bit by a spider, but the worst part was that he didn't even turn into Spider-Man. Hopefully it wasn't a scary spider. I used to go to Worlds of Fun for Screamfest, make all the roller coasters go backwards. Really? That sounds pretty neat. Go backwards, okay. I've looked at Six Flags before. They have something called Fright Fest at Six Flags that I went to one time whenever I was a kid. My gosh, though, guys, Oklo is just on fire. Oklo continuing the massive run. Let's get it. U attempting to recover as well. They dipped a little bit at open, but they are coming back nice and strong here. MP Materials, how are they? Oh, not near as good. Damn. How about USAR? No. What was the other one? TKQ or... What was the one that was really going crazy yesterday? I can't remember the name of it, but it was like up over 50% or something like that. Maybe it was 2 days ago, but still. Trying to find it, hang on. TQM. Or TMQ, sorry. Iceman got us. Yeah, Trilogy Metals, TMQ. Nice. CRML was another one, Jake, you're right, yeah. Critical Metals and TMQ. AQMS, Tangy says. You know, I didn't even notice that one did that the other day. Holy shit, Tangy. I wish I would have seen this one. I don't know why they weren't on my radar. Good morning, Brain. Tangy said, holy shit is right. Up like 8 grand this week. Beautiful. Beautiful. What a week. What a week. I like it. Let me check out some of these rare earths really quick. Aqua Metals did a direct offering today. Oh, they did 13 million through direct offering. Damn. I mean, it makes sense, you know, with them flying up. Not surprised, really. I guess. Let's go look at TMQ. Looking to see what's up today with these rare earth stocks. AQMS. All right, let's see Tessie. Ooh, I like Tesla. Look at that, guys. Filled the gap. Bounced perfectly off that gap fill. Back to the upside. Held the trend line. Held 430. Tesla's attempting to hold the trend. That's going to be a big hold today for it. I'm surprised that you guessed that this was Halloween. I know it has a little bit of Halloweenness to it, but that was a good guess. Chase. I didn't think anyone was going to notice it today. NVTS is running again, Brain said. Navitas, 13%. No kidding. It's right at the high of yesterday right now, too. Navitas Semiconductor. Guys, keep NVTS on your radar. It is on fire right now. It's trying to break above its high from yesterday. And it just broke. Just broke past. Only by a little bit, but it did break. %20 per day for 3 days now. Yeah. You're right. It's not quite 20% today, but it's trying. Man, it's like right at that high, though. Oh, it's starting to reject a little bit. That's not good. Not good. Unfortunately, resistance is holding up. Uh-oh. He says it'll get it. You better watch this dip then. QQQ just broke down under 602.30. Little support from this morning just gave out. It might try to go down for that gap fill towards 600 for a retest, guys. Watch out. Here goes the SPY. Man, right as it seemed like it was breaking out, too. Right as it broke out. Very choppy right back down. Watch for those headlines today. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent just said something. He said, we see this with Chinese provocation, why it's important for Trump to have emergency powers to impose tariffs. Bessent said, we want to see more U.S. retailers on the ground in China. Sounds nice. Yeah. Now, this is the big headline, guys. Trade Representative Greer said we are expecting Chinese restrictions not to be implemented and go back to prior agreement. That's pretty big. This is interesting. Look at this guy. Unusual Whales posted that this politician, Representative Rob Bresnahan, bought over 1,000. What? They didn't type this one out very good. I think it meant to say $175,000 in options. They need to do better with their typing, though. I gotta say, some messed up commas in there. Unusual Whales. Spy right back. Touched the 666 support and went boom, right up. Right at the top end of our red box there. Very close to it. Man, why doesn't the top go to 666? There we go. Now it's there. Just about. Tariffs can be paid by export country or importer. That's a pretty big deal there. He also said European allies must be willing to follow on tariffs on Chinese goods related to Russian oil purchases. All right, just reading a couple headlines that are coming through, seeing if we're getting anything crazy, but I like that Greer headline. The headline with Jameson Greer saying we're expecting Chinese restrictions not to be implemented and to go back to the prior agreement. I thought that was a big deal. Check out MP, you got some puts. All right. It had a great drop this morning. Wow. Yeah, MP really fell off here. That was a pretty big hit at that resistance yesterday. Who was talking to me about that yesterday with MP? I'll find it. Ah, locked picks. That's right. Oh, is that your name on Discord? Oh, sorry. It's always hard to know who's who with the different names. Yeah, it's looking beautiful though with that right shoulder holding up pretty good. Looks beautiful this morning. Yeah, I remember that. Yep, yesterday afternoon you messaged and this shoulder got a little bit higher than the other shoulder did, but it's, that's fine. It's not always going to be perfect, but I was really happy that it rejected at 100 as well. I thought that was a really good sign. But yeah, it set up really well for it. Nice job. I did a quick scalp on SPY, 667 scalp, got the call at 1.70, sold at 2.09. Love it, Outlaw. Appreciate that. Nice gains there. Little dub in the chat for Outlaw, guys. Outlaw's an OG of the channel. Well, a lot of OGs out there, but... Goose said, Tom, so if Navitas breaks, when do you think it is buying time? Man, it's up so much. It's really a game of momentum with Navitas. It's a game of momentum. You know, throw some trailing stops on there potentially, but you got to catch the momentum here. Almost up to 15 now. You weren't kidding, Brain. It got it done. Brain said, where's Manny? Manny's job requires weird hours, so just keep that in mind. Sometimes he can't always be there early in the morning, you know? I noticed he was up, though, at like 4 a.m. today. I think. Oh, no. Maybe I missed it. He made some early morning posts, though. Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. Let's go see TSLA bouncing off 430, guys. Beautiful recovery there. Beautiful recovery. Let's go, Tessie. That is perfect for you. It doesn't look good when you zoom out on some of these charts. I want it to like look good. That's a good comeback by Tesla to test and hold that trend. Held the gap fill as well. That was a good gap fill. Now let's see if it can get above 436. Come on, Tessie. You did it this morning for half a second. It'll probably hold up here as resistance intraday again. So maybe be ready for some extra volatility, but I'm definitely looking for it to start to shoot through here at some point soon. They're saying energy stocks are the worst part of the AI bubble. Energy stocks of all things? Very interesting. The new ones like SMR and Oklo. Yeah, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's not like that they're really... Like, what are the market caps looking like? You know, I mean, I know it's attributing some, but... Like, you know, if these stocks go up like 20%. If Nvidia goes up like 2%, it's probably like the same amount of market cap. You know, it's hard to say exactly there, but these stocks are definitely becoming like bubble-like, I would say. They definitely are getting extremely overextended, and it actually almost reminds me of like the COVID bubble. You know, if we go back to the COVID days, look at the stock like Zoom. It kind of reminds me of something like Zoom, exactly like that. You know, I mean, it's on fire. It has a lot of great momentum, but I mean, that does make some sense there. You know, that does make some sense. I think that they're getting way overextended into bubble territory, at least for the individual stocks themselves. I do think that if all these stocks start crashing down, obviously, it can create some downside pressure, kind of like what happened with the stock market around 2022 as the COVID bubble came to an end, kind of. You know, we had that year of downtrend there. Well, 27% pullback on the SPY. Always fun. SPY trying to hold 350 support down there on that pullback. It was a pretty big one at the time. Pretty big. Right back down to that peak. Recently, we've had a peak right around 610. That'd be like a 10% pullback. If we pulled back like then, we'd be sitting around 500 or so on SPY. That'd be a pretty big pullback, and you know what? There is a pretty big support down there. Now, of course, obviously, you know, we're getting pretty far out in the left field here. I believe that's the right analogy. SPY doing pretty well this morning, though, getting close to 669 again. Love to see it holding and moving up like that. Beautiful. Tessie did reject at 436. Again, big resistance, but let's see it break as the day goes forward. Brain sold Navitas. Wow. Look at the recovery instantly. Holy shit. Let's go see Oklo here. Nice comeback, yeah. Love it, love it. That's all me, Brain says. Navitas is just crazy. It's a crazy time out there. My gosh, Navitas is going to break $15 here. This is a wild one. Give me 1 sec. Sorry about that. I had to destroy some Gatorade. Or actually some Powerade is what I meant to say. Got the Powerade going. He said, do you guys own Wolf? Tangy goes, not anymore. Terra Wolf. Doing pretty good, up to 16.15. It's getting very overextended here. Terra Wolf had this nice leg up. Now it's going for a secondary leg. It's actually a little bit higher. Okay. Wow. Very interesting. Boil apple, Martin said. What? Wow, Apple doing pretty good on that comeback. I like the way it held that 248.9 area this morning. That was a really good hold of yesterday's high of the day. Oh, Mason lost his rangefinder. That can be brutal sometimes, man. Somehow I've kept the same one for, like, forever. You know, speaking of that, I gotta go steal my dad's rangefinder now. He's got, like, a $500 Bushnell rangefinder in his bag. Oh, you left it on the cart? Oh, man. That always happens. My buddy has one that connects to the cart. It's like a little Callaway one, and that one, yeah, that one has been lost as well before. We've been lucky to get it back. Nice night vision. It's pretty rare somebody brings up night vision on the channel. Speaking of that, how is Callaway? It's MODG, right? Yeah. Top Golf Callaway. Oh my gosh. It's been coming back. No, I'm just kidding. It's a very cheap stock, though. Wow, around $8 a share to $10 a share right now. And they bounced off major support on the daily. Oh, I'm getting excited, guys. I think you're like the only person I've talked to about that in a long time, Brain. I would like a nice thermal type of setup. What's your resistance for SPY, please? Yeah, no problem, Outlaw. Wow, SPY just broke through my first one at 669.50. I have 669.50 to 670. I gotta say, though, the SPY really chopped around this range between 670 and 674. Like, every $1, there's like a resistance. But it just has so much momentum, it's breaking through. This is beautiful. I think that I found some news that might have really helped spark some more momentum here. That is a big move. Holy crap, SPY's through 670 now. That is a big move there. Longer tariff truce with China. Sounds great. Everything's shifting. The narrative is shifting now. Navitas trying to break 15. Getting really choppy up here around 15. Sam says, come on, Navitas. Navitas really wants it. Come on. Get through. It's a tough range. It really slowed down here. But it's not really like rejecting super quickly or anything either. SMR, nice bounce at 53. Attempting a hold. How's Oklo? Down around support, not the best. Nvidia's starting to recover up. Nvidia filled the gap and is now recovering as well. What a drop, though, it opened there by Nvidia. That was a tough one. AMD, on the other hand, though, has done pretty well from open. Does Wolf really only have 12 employees? I almost don't believe you. They must do a lot of subcontracting. They must. You think Apple can get 260? Let's see. AAPL 5-minute chart. I like this range here, 249 to 250. All right, SPY. Literally just touched 670. It didn't really get through by that much. It broke by 20 cents or so. This range that SPY is getting into is critical. Most of the time within this range, it has gotten up to like that 672.50 to 630, or sorry, 673 resistance range. But, you know, today could be different, considering that we already gapped up and already are up 1% plus. SPY is starting to shift a little bit in the immediate short term. Navitas not getting through 15 yet. Intel not doing good. Yeah, not the best here. Intel has been ripping a lot lately, though, so. Just went up over 100% from August lows. That's pretty crazy to say that Intel went up over 100% there. Do the machines do all the work? That's what I was wondering. Must be something like that, man. 12 employees, that's insane. AMD is killing me. 6% up. Yeah, 7% now. Wow, that's a big rip there by AMD. Right through resistance, like butter. It's one of the better stocks here today. Somebody said Tilray is over 2. I should have waited with re-entering Navitas. Live and learn. Mara Mara is looking good, Fisher said. Mara, okay. How's that daily looking? Pretty great here for Mara. That's a great continuation candle today. I like it. It is doing really well. Who knows where it's going to end up getting to today, but right now it has some good momentum. It has recently. MP falling sharply, Yvonne said. MP Materials. I know Satisfied is going to be happy with this one. They said, can Apple get to 260 or 560? Oh, sorry, 260. I'm reading 12 numbers at one time here. Yeah, 260. Let's check that. Hourly chart. I don't really love the way Apple recently dipped down so hard. I'm not the biggest fan of that move. I am really worried that some of these resistances overhead will come into play. But that doesn't mean that if they come into play that it won't get to 260. You know, we might reject off resistance today, consolidate, and then who knows, hit 260 tomorrow or Friday. But I do like this 253 resistance coming up. Pretty large level. Looking for supports for MP. Let's see. Ooh. I really like this 88 to 88.50 range where MP reacted a little bit over the past couple trading days. Put a little support line there. Somewhere close to here. Like I said, 88 to 88.50-ish. Gonna be the first area of support. Realistically, I really like these old all-time highs as supports. Or the old recent highs anyways. Right around 82. You're holding it from 1488 instead of 1457. Okay. A little higher. Definitely need a little bounce on Navitas here at that previous high around 1430. Holding that level would be pretty critical today. What is ACHR's correlation to SPY? It's moderate, it looks like. I would say that ACHR would not move with SPY very often. It's not going to be something that really impacts the SPY much. It's not going to be something that really follows along. It's going to have more of a mind of its own. Does ACHR have any product? I don't think that they have any real sales yet. I'm looking though. I know that there's a lot of in development. You know, there's a lot of stuff in development for them, right? They have a project called, their main product in the works is called Midnight, a 4-passenger eVTOL aircraft. Midnight's not yet fully certified with the FAA. Yeah, it says that they don't have a mass market revenue producing product and widespread operation right now. You know, of course, there might be something, obviously, that they do, but, you know, of course, their bread and butter definitely is not there. Yeah, they did get approval to start testing. Yeah. Just testing, though. Re-entered way too high in FOMO mode. Oh, no. Let's see if it can bounce here for you. Little support hold. BAC, Bank of America. Sitting right around 52. 51.90 to 52. Support. BAC, huge overhead resistance here. JP Morgan, 312. .11%. Look at that daily chart, JP Morgan. Beautiful recovery there. I like that green candle here. That's a good move today. Man, I know Bank of America had great earnings, and it really helped these banks recover up because these earnings were actually sending a lot of these banks lower the past couple days. But like Wells Fargo, for example, I mean, my gosh, it just broke out to new all-time highs. Well, it might not. You know what? Let me go check. Okay, you got to be careful with these stocks. Some of these banks have wild levels from like pre-08 and stuff, but Wells Fargo's pretty good. Nice, though, to 87. About an hour into the market here. No problem, brain. Revolut's taking your profits. Oh, no. That's like a gambling site, isn't it? Juan said, is it safe to say we can see a bounce up more on the QQQ today? I've been looking at past candles, and I don't see any spots where the 606 range is held as support ever. You know, looking here, 606 to 606.50 did have some hits right here. This is a level that has been pretty critical on QQQ in the past, but it wasn't that bad. And even like right here, there was some hits and rejection back down right at 606 as it tried to break forward. So there has been some reaction here in the past. Is it safe, though, that we can see a higher bounce up? See where we're at here, QQQ. I feel like it has a little bit more room. I kind of like the 607.30 resistance overhead. Yeah, 607.30 and then 610 are the main next areas I'm watching for. But yeah, 606 has held up a little bit. It looks pretty solid though right now. The way in which it's coming back for a retest already looks fairly solid. See some momentum. The big thing today is if we get some weird China news that ends up tanking stocks out of nowhere. That's my big scare. But I don't think that's going to happen given all the positive comments by like Besant today. Who knows though, China might decide to play hardball. Could you look at AVAV? Sure thing. AVAV. AeroVironment. Haven't really looked at this one too much in the past. It's been on fire, though. It seems like this one got a little bit overextended in the short term, and it's definitely slowing down on the uptrend, that's for sure. It worries me that there could be a shift coming into play here. The stock is very overextended. It could keep going. You know, but is it really justified here for an entry? Not for like the longer term, but if you're looking at like a shorter term opportunity, you know, maybe playing the breakout could be advantageous if you wait for it to start moving on the breakout. Whoa, Mets had a cool post in the discussion channel. He said, wasn't going to miss the stream today. Back home now, so watching it at home. Has the stream up on his Tesla. That's pretty funny. On the phone in the Tesla. That's cool. That is cool. What do you think of APLD? Ahmad said. Applied. Applied Digital. Breaking out here today. Out above its resistance here around 39 to 39.30. That's hilarious. Matt said that the kids in the back of the Tesla were commenting on if the SPY was going to go up or down. That's pretty funny. You should have them pick your directions for you for a day. APLD right at the high of the day. Has a lot of momentum. I feel like it could try to break out here. Man, it's a tough resistance, though. These stocks are getting crazy. Sure thing, Yvonne. You own 100 shares? Wondering whether to hold or sell. What price? That's going to be a big deal there. What price do you own it? To what, Jay? She wouldn't be caught dead in a Tesla, probably. 287.90. That's a really good price. A really good price for where it's at now. Let me check something out here. Since you have 100 shares, that's actually great. Something that you could do is you can use your 100 shares to sell a covered call. So if you go ahead and you look at AVAV right now, if we go out to the November 21st option and you go out to the 420 strike, which is essentially right above resistance here, you can sell that right now for around somewhere like $2,300 or $2,500. I would say right now its last traded price was $2,400. So you can go ahead and sell a covered call on that position and get $2,400 in premium there. Now that's a really good thing to do for someone that holds shares. This is what we call kind of running the wheel. You know, you'll sell puts, you'll get shares, and then you'll start selling the covered calls. You don't always have to sell puts to get the shares, but nonetheless, you have shares and you're using those to sell the covered calls. It's a covered call strategy. I like it a lot. So it'll essentially guarantee you $2,400 if you sell that covered call. Now the problem is if AVAV explodes, you have to sell it though at 420. So if it goes up to 450, you're going to have to sell your shares at 420. But the good news is that you also still get that $2,400 in premium. So you're going to sell at a price higher than the price you own it, which is great. And it's higher than today's prices. And you're getting paid $2,400 to do it. So it's like win-win-win if you did that. And then if it rejects and the stock falls and AVAV ends up falling, you just simply keep that $2,400 and then you also keep your shares. And then once it expires, you could just sell your shares or keep them or whatever you want to do. But I wouldn't do it though if AVAV starts to fall down and you want to sell, then you're gonna have to get out of that. Close the covered call, close your shares, and then there you go. But still wouldn't be terrible at some point. Yeah. What platform do you use again, Yvonne? Oh yeah, support is 380, resistance is 420. There's also some resistance at 410, but it's not as like critical. But that I would say like that 417 to 420 area is going to be a big resistance. With this stock being a $417 stock, it has, you know, you can have like a $3 range like that pretty easily. Quest trade, okay. Yeah, you might need to give them a call and see if they can unlock that for you, or if you can, you know, get your options level up or something. With it being cash secured, though, it should be okay. Never too late. Kanji says, guess I should have. You should have seen the pork chop I had last night, 2 inches thick and a couple lobster tails. Whoa. Whoa, Tangy Man. A 10 spot for Tommy Tenders to celebrate my sick-ass gains this week. I appreciate it, Tangy. Let's go. My gosh, some of these stocks are going wild. I can't believe when I saw AQMS how much it was up, Tangy. Yesterday? Holy crap. That was insane. Wow, let's go. Dubs for Tangy in the chat. Nice wins this week. Lots of good dubs there. Chase says, Tangy for president. Brain says, lobster's not something we get here often. It's really not? I guess that makes sense. Yeah. We have a lot of coast here, I guess. That's crazy. Every nice place around here has lobster. Even in the middle of the country. Oh, you've never had it? Oh, I'll ship you one. You're gonna open the box and Larry the Lobster's gonna be pissed. Find us Virginia Avenue for 5,000. Yeah, we both need Virginia Avenue. Mason, I actually have 3 of them. I have 3 of them that I need 1 more for. Man, Palantir's getting some good intraday action coming back into play. SPY really slowed up at 670, unfortunately. Let me tell you all the ones I need here. I need Vermont Avenue for a Polaris. I need Vermont for a Polaris. I need Virginia for the American Airlines. I need Tennessee for like a huge Orlando vacation. Tennessee Avenue. I need Pennsylvania for a Lowe's $10,000 gift card. And then I need Short Line. I need 1 more railroad. I need Short Line for a $50,000 trip for 4 to a Monopoly Go location. Short Line. Most pieces are easy to find except one. Yeah, that does seem like how it's going right now. That does seem like the common denominator. So yeah, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Vermont. I have 4 of them. Wow, 4. Only 1 away. Yeah, I know. That has to be how it is, right? Tesla, beautiful push here, guys. Beautiful. Right up to 440 resistance. Love it. Appreciate the Profits channel post there, Martin. Did you ever see there was a scam where that print shop security card was manipulating the Monopoly pieces? No, I've never heard of that, but that's pretty crazy. He said he's doing me a favor. No, not that, Yvonne. Send them all to us. Send them all to us. Jerome Jacobson. Yeah, I know. That's what kept happening to me, Mason. Mason, I counted it up now. I have 18 free items stacked up. Poor Tessie, not getting past 440, but I like the overall push higher here today. It was beautiful. Beautiful. He got locked up by the Hamburglar. What? He did it for almost 11 or 12 years now. That's crazy. How's Take-Two Interactive? I haven't checked this one in a little while, but new all-time highs again today. Take-Two. Everyone's bidding this one up this year in anticipation of GTA 6. Little pissed I didn't add more shares there, but nonetheless, it was a little high at the time at Resistance. It was... Plus GTA 6 still isn't out. Nonetheless, though, company really went crazy. Yeah, until they delay it again. Then that'll create a good buying opportunity, so I hope that they do that, Mason. They better come out there. I don't know what video you're talking about, Brain, but I've seen a lot of videos about McDonald's in other countries. It's insane how other countries have such different menu items. It'll be Trump's 4th term by the time GTA 6 comes out. You're right. His 4th term. That took me a second to, like, process. Check out PACB. Pacific Biosciences of Cali. Wow. Pretty good recovery here. Of course, I don't love the intraday move because it's right on resistance. It's sitting right at the previous resistance and really not breaking through. Let's go see ACHR. A lot of up and down volatility there. Came all the way back, though. I know everyone was watching this one at open. It made the comeback here. Brain said, here's Navitas. Broke through 15 with another 20% day. It held support. Held that high from yesterday or on Friday. No, it was yesterday. Yeah, Monday morning. So not yesterday, but Monday and after hours. Brain says, pork chop it is tonight. There we go. So, Brain, you're in Poland. What is like a meal there that's like something strictly Polish? Like, what's like one of your famous meals that you guys have? I'm curious. Uh-oh, here we go. Mason with his Halloween jokes. Why did the stock trader dress as a ghost for Halloween? Because he wanted to scare up some returns in a bear market. That's scare up some returns. Oh, shit. He said Piorgi. Sorry, I can't say that name correctly, guys. I'd have to look it up really quick. Let's see. Particularly Poland, made by filling unleavened dough with savory or sweet filling like potato and cheese, sauerkraut, or fruit. They are first boiled until they float, often sautéed in butter until brown, and commonly served with toppings like sour cream or caramelized onions. Okay. Yeah, those look pretty fire. They look kind of like Japanese dumplings, but with different fillings. Why did the stock market get invited to the haunted house? Because it's full of scary dips. I like that one better than the first one. Scary dips. He wanted to turn his liquid assets into solid returns. Why did the ghost invest in stocks? Because he wanted to turn his liquid assets into solid returns. These are crazy. Brain says, what's a local food where you're at? You know, that's a good question. There's not too much where I am. I'll show you guys, though, if you're interested. Let's go see QQQ Spy really quickly. I want to see Navitas, though, one more time. How much it was powering higher, yeah. I'm going to stick on Navitas here. So one of the things that we have here is, have you guys ever heard of ravioli? St. Louis is popular for a version of ravioli called toasted ravioli. It's like a Missouri thing or a St. Louis deal. It's very, very popular here. People love it. So you essentially take raviolis and you fry them. You deep fry them. And then you serve them with tomato sauce and you dip them and eat them. It's fire. It sounds kind of like your dumplings, if I'm being honest. Sounds like something kind of like that. We also have a special type of ribs called St. Louis style ribs, which is a type of barbecue, which looks like this. I don't know. The ribs are cut a certain way or something. Something like that. But yeah, the toasted raviolis are pretty fire. He goes, show us where you live. He said, ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuoli. Oh my gosh. There's going to be so many people in here who don't know what that is. Give me the latitude and the longitude. I need to get some ribs soon. Yeah, that'd be... Do they sell ribs by you, of course? I'm sure they do. Do you guys do, like, barbecue ever? My mom made some country ribs. There we go. I smoke ribs all the time. I like smoking them every once in a while. I get a set of like baby backs or something and smoke them for hours. Spritz them with some apple juice. Oh, that's awesome, Brain. Next to a shooting range. Now that's weird to hear for Europe. Maybe not as much, though, in that part of Europe. What's your view on NVIDIA and Palantir? Sorry, I remember you mentioned it in your videos, but I don't remember. NVIDIA. Pretty solid price action. So Mike was actually watching NVIDIA to the downside recently. We've been watching this lower support range around 180, and we've been watching it very closely for a possible breakdown. We're kind of watching and waiting for that. Now, this morning, it gapped up, so that means that there was a no play. But if 180 starts to really break down, that's where a lot of opportunity can start to really come into play here. So watch 180. I love that range. I know it was Mike's play yesterday, but I like the range personally as well. If it breaks down, I think it could be a substantial drop. But for now, it seems like it's holding. So Steve goes, it sounds like Idaho. Referring to Poland. Yeah, Chase goes, that sounds more American than anything. It really does. Yeah, we're all going to go there for vacation now. How's Lithium Americas Corp? Pulling back. TMQ still pulling back. Trilogy Metals. Okay. What about MP Materials? Hey, MP is starting to find some support down there. Close to the low from yesterday, actually. Starting to hold up a little bit better. Interesting moves. Is Tessie trying to hold its ground a little bit? Yeah, Chase, do it. How'd you... The passports. Still appreciate that super chat, Tangy. Thank you again, sir. Gonna be grabbing some more Monopoly pieces here today. No, I'm kidding. I probably won't get any today, but I told my fiance to go get McDonald's for lunch, so she'll be sending me some pieces. I actually eat pretty good, I'd say, Tangy. I mean, you know, for the most part anyways. I've been doing this thing lately called Cook Unity, which has been really nice. You guys ever heard of Cook Unity? It's like one of those meal delivery things. They've been delivering me a lot of good meals for like lunches and things like that, which has been nice, like chef created meals. That's been making me happy. Only people who watch YouTube have heard of that. Has 18 free items from Monopoly. True. I guess. Let's go see MCD here. Nothing. How about Walmart? You know, they were doing good again today. Oh, yeah. 109.50. RFK Jr. loves it and he's healthy. You know, it's really not as unhealthy as people think, in my opinion. I mean, you know, we can argue it, but you could argue that eating a salad with ranch on it's worse for you than a lot of McDonald's items. I'm not saying all, but a lot or a few. Let's go see that QQQ action. 606.70. He goes a salad from McDonald's. I can't believe that they got rid of their salads. I guess it wasn't making sense monetarily for them. The only fast food that I like classify as a little bit healthy, I think, is like, and you know, I'm talking about straight up fast food is like Chick-fil-A. And even that, though, isn't like that healthy, but at least they have like a lot of good salad options and stuff, which makes me happy. They have some good salads there, too. But I love their baked chicken sandwiches. Not the fried ones, the baked ones. Or grilled. Grilled it might be, but... It kind of is, Tangy. QQQ coming up a little bit today. Looking at resistance 606.70. Come on, let's get through. We're coming up for another retest. I keep turning it back on because it's starting to try and come back towards that resistance, which shows that we might be getting a test or a breakout here. This is going to be the third touch within the past 45 minutes or so. What's a good way to explore different areas of the market? I'm new and only know about the happening stocks. You know, that's a pretty good question. Something that I do a lot to see different stocks is, of course, just doing lots of research. I know that it's time consuming and it can take a little while, but there can be certain things that you do, like setting up scanners. You can go set up scanners on, what's my favorite one there? FinViz. FinViz has a really nice free scanner section on there. Thinkorswim has great scanners as well. But FinViz, you can go on there and set up a ton of different categories. Let me just go show you really quick. So we just click screener here at the top. Now, see how we can do things here, select different options, different categories, data points, right? Uh-oh. It was a bad idea. It froze. Let me close some of these Chrome tabs really quick. Oh man, my Chrome is about to crash. But you can select all these points. You can even do technical analysis. You can do descriptive. You can do fundamental, news, ETFs. But if you go to like technical, you know, if you're somebody that likes the 200-day moving average, you can click it. Oh my God. You know, look at all these different categories. Price crossed above the 200 SMA. Like, let's look at that. Let's look at who did that today. There's a lot. You know, you can just start looking through. What's this one? AIRJ up 17% today. Like, what is that one? AIRJ. AirJoule Technologies. See the daily chart. See, like, here's a random one. You know, never heard of it before. We just went to FinViz, typed in one click of the scanner, and we found an interesting low price stock of 15% today. But yeah, that FinViz scanner is pretty helpful. Now, I wouldn't always just do like the 200 SMA. A lot of times, you know, you just go to like descriptive, pretty simple stuff here. Like you just do like what industry you want to look at, you know? Like, of course, we'll go to like tech or semiconductors, right? Here, like, let's do some semiconductors. Let's see what this looks like here. All right. Oh, wow. A lot of good movers here today. You can see their market caps, too. Let's see. Oh, AMD. I was like, this one's big. Yeah, it was AMD. Like ASX. ASX, for example. ASE Technology Holding Company. Like, I've never heard of this one, but... Look at that daily price action by ASX. Wow, that's actually a really bullish setup right here. ASX looks like it wants to extend up and out a little bit. This is a pretty fire setup here, actually, by ASX. I gotta say. We've just been lucky clicking on a couple good ones here, though. You know, you will have to filter through a little bit more sometimes, but... He says AQMS down 42% today. That's what Tangi said. Good thing I sold. Yeah. Yeah, really good thing. Yeah, no problem. Check out the Discord, of course. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Of course, also check out the link that I send in the chat for the trading floor. You can join up, get access to the SM bot screener, along with all the day trades by the Surge bot, Hybrid bot, big money trades before they're posted on YouTube. Tonight, we even have a live Q&A. Live Q&A tonight. Use code BIGMONEY for $100 off of yearly. Yeah, for those of you already in the trading floor, set your alarms. Make sure you join up to that tonight. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. MLB will be stopping the playoffs for the stream, but they'll disguise it as a rain delay. Are they playing really early today or something? No. Was that yesterday? I can't remember. I thought someone said they were playing in like the middle of the day or something, or very early. I'm sad that the Brewers lost to the Dodgers last night. Pretty sad there. I've been kind of wishing that Milwaukee would come through and beat them. AQMS. That is quite the drop, Tangi, man. How's Navitas here? How we looking for Brain? Ran over 15. Got pretty high, but slowed down again. You know, it still had that 20% move today, Brain. It still had it done, didn't it? It's pretty insane. Might sell out of it. Hey, Tom, if SPY keeps chopping down, where do you see support at? KO asked. If SPY keeps chopping down, where do we see support? I really like 666. But intraday, we have to watch 667.70 as well. SPY really rejected there this morning in pre-market. So 667.70 would probably be the next area that I'm really interested in here. Yeah. Yep, that lines up beautifully too with other levels. So yeah, 662.70. It could always bounce before we get, or 667.70, but it could always bounce before we get there. So just keep that in mind. You know, just because we have support doesn't mean it has to move there, but overall pretty solid here. What do you think of Clean Spark? CLSK? Yeah, CLSK. Wow. That's some good price action today, 5%. I actually like the way it's heading to around the high of the day. Like it could go for like a resistance breakout here. CLSK. That is a pretty insane move. I must point out. That is a good one. $23.50, 25 resistance coming up. Wow, that is a big rip. Look at that daily chart resistance coming into play, but it broke through the other resistances pretty quickly. So, yeah, keep your eyes on CLSK. I like the movement, though. Yvonne said, what about stocks that are about to break out? How do you look for them? Well, really, I mean, I'm somebody that I look at my watch list and I just start going all through it like crazy. You know, I start just plotting up a lot of different stocks. And also, you know, you use the Discord to your advantage. You know, I mean, we have our SM bot screener, which throws out a lot of stocks that are actively moving at the time. So that helps a lot. But really, I mean, if you're looking at stocks like, you know, you're looking at ones that are about to break out, that means that you're looking before the breakout happens. So ultimately, it comes down to really researching and seeing, okay, where's the stock at? Is it touching resistance? Is it going to try to break resistance? Is it starting to set up in a bullish way? Is it is higher lows forming instead of lower highs? Is there a wedge coming into play? You know, there could be a plethora of different things, but it comes down to doing some research. I would set aside, you know, maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe something like that to just, you know, do some quick research, you know, find some stocks moving, plot them up. What about just broke out but hasn't run yet? I mean, you know, Yvonne, it sounds like you're trying to almost ask the impossible, if that makes sense. But I'll say this. You can set up a scanner to where, like, let's say that you can set up a certain scanner and you can do some custom criteria where you can have it show you stocks that are actively breaking above the high of the previous day, like the previous day's high. Or you can have it, you can code it to, like, look at stocks that are breaking past a peak Now you can also set up certain other parameters. You can say, okay, it's breaking past its peak following a 5% pullback. You know, like you could set up tons of parameters, like, because you might not want to look at it if it's breaking its peak and it just formed that peak yesterday, right? So you might want to look at peaks following a move of some kind, or maybe you'll even have it be stocks that are breaking new highs of the year. You know, I mean, there could be tons of different ways to set that up. Check IRBT. Let's see. iRobot? Really? Is it moving today? Wow, it's moving up 44%. I remember when I was looking at IRBT, when I was just starting out in trading, my gosh, it was like 30 or 40 a share, and I watched it explode and then die. And I've been eyeing it up as it's been dipping, but I haven't been too confident in them yet. These guys, I believe, make the Roomba, if I'm not mistaken. No problem, Yvonne. You can set up a lot of those scanners on Thinkorswim. I'm not sure how you would set them up, though, in Canada. SPY's on a downtrend, Dusty said. Intraday, it definitely is. It's actually about to touch support that we were eyeing up, 667.70. It might not hold here, though. You know, I personally would not be surprised if the SPY came down to test 666 again. The lower end of the range would not be surprised at all, especially considering today's price action and moves. A little chop volatility coming in. SPY on a downtrend, Dusty said. That was beautiful. SPX dump at 10 a.m., Murica said. Were you looking for the 10 a.m. dump? Were you the one that kept posting that up in the chat earlier? Somebody this morning in the Discord was posting up that there's going to be a 10 a.m. dump. It didn't come right at 10, but it was pretty close. Yeah, that's 10 Eastern time, Yvonne. Yep, that's what everyone's looking at. Yeah, oh, maybe you meant 11 Eastern, but I have heard some people saying that recently. I haven't really looked into it too closely, but what do you guys think about the China situation? I'm going to put out a poll, okay? This is going to be a fun poll today. We'll do a poll. All right, here we go. Here we go. Vote it up. Will tensions with China blow over, or will this situation heat up more? I'm curious to hear your thoughts, to see what you think here. Vote it up. Trump said everything would be fine, so that doesn't always mean that it has to be that way, though. The thing I think I struggle with the most is the sell. I often don't know when to sell, just to see my gains disappear. Try to have something in your mind before you enter the trade, Yvonne. Gotta get some target levels out there. No problem, Brain. Have a great one. Get those votes in, though. We'll probably end this poll pretty quickly. Looks like it'll blow over and be fine is the main one everyone's voting for today. I'm curious, though. You know, China has a lot of craziness. Just whenever you think something's fine, they could come out with some random... Maybe something with NVIDIA or something like that. You know, there could be lots of situations like that. Losing better says, I completely suck at this. Your name doesn't do you very much justice there. But just keep doing research. You know, it takes a while. I don't know how soon or how long you've been doing this for, but just realize that it takes a little while to get things down. You know, it just does. That's just the nature of the beast here with stocks. It took me a couple of years. So just realize it can take time. You know, it takes time to learn things and to experience things. And there's a lot of things that happen that you've never seen before. And it is one of the more complex things out there, I'd say. So many different things going on all at once. They said it's a very accurate name. You sold half. Ah, okay. On AMD they were talking about. Good rip up to 240 today. That was a good comeback. AMD daily chart looking awesome. You'll probably get a couple more good days before turning over. It'll be awesome tomorrow if AMD could break above this high. I think there's a good shot AMD could go for that high break too. A lot of good momentum today. Ton of great momentum. SPY's trying to actively bounce off our support. 66770. Good level from pre-market. See if it holds or not. I don't love the way SPY pulled back from that high of day. It's been pretty straight down from there on the 5-minute candles. Oh, yeah. Get some good education. Still watching QSI. Let's see. Quantum C or Quantum Psi. Good breakout today. Wow. Intraday, it's starting to dip down, unfortunately. Not my favorite intraday setup. Tesla is still down. Yep, it hit 440, rejected back under 436. But I gotta say that morning bounce off 430 and where the gap fill was just beautiful on Tessie. That was beautiful. Yvonne said AV's falling even more. Oh, yeah, it probably will, Yvonne. On an intraday basis, 100%. It probably will. It's been falling a lot today. If we look at the overall zone here on AV, I mean, it could probably go nuts within this range. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm curious how long it sticks within here for. The big negative for you would be if it starts to break under this lower end of the range. That's the kicker. Don't be afraid to just lock it in, and since you own it at like 280 or something. Or you'll just have to live with these intraday fluctuations. I don't think it's a terrible place, Yvonne. If you were looking for a place to sell, this is a big resistance overhead, and, you know, AV has been doing quite well. It could easily pull back, so I'm a big fan of you selling up here personally. But ultimately, it's, you know, your decision. The dump that happened Friday wasn't a normal drop. I searched trend lines that were similar to those on different hours. I'm a pattern trader, and I'm okay with being 60-40 with accuracy. Oh, well, yeah, the dump on Friday, definitely not normal. That was a wild situation. You know, Trump tweeted about China. He's done that before, and we've seen similar price action like that, so definitely not normal, but not anything too crazy, you know, considering the news. Caleb wants Chase's book. A little pattern trading. 60-40 is great. Especially if your risk-reward ratio is over 1. Boom. All right, guys, we're probably going to call the stream there. I'm going to look at the poll here. Looks like you guys are mainly looking for this to blow over. 52% said it'll blow over and be fine. 33% said it will heat up more. 15% said, I don't know. Not the biggest poll ever, just a quick one, but still. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts. It looks like, you know, a lot of people are looking for this to blow over, so I'm not surprised. Jay said this is not a paid advertisement. I learned a lot from the trading floor because of Tom, Mike, Mason, and Hunter explain things a lot better. Yeah, make sure to join in on that live Q&A tonight, guys. Don't forget about that live Q&A. Get in on the floor. All right, guys, let's go. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to you in the Discord. Make sure you join up in there. It's free to join. Of course, there is premium portions, but it is free to join. Join up. Check out the discussion chat, profits channels, wins and testimonials, off topic. Let's go. Let's go. I'll talk to you guys later. See you all tomorrow morning and hopefully on tonight's video and at the Q&A. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Let's get some green action here. At least in our accounts. See you later.